Firstly, I'd just like to apologise for the FX charts and Elliott wave gold and oil and so forth that never got updated on Friday evening or through the US trading session, as we had problems with our server, which is sitting in the US, and it's just taken us a while to sort of figure it out. We haven't quite solved the problem, but we're getting closer to it. So, alrighty. So the US indices, and here we're looking at the S&P 500. We were looking for a positive result on Friday because we expected the employment figures to be positive because of the ADP figures on the Friday. That's occurred now. I just want to. This is a daily chart here, and I just wanted to point to this daily chart here on the S&P 500. We've got this little gap here, and there's one on the Dow Jones as well. So once they're sort of covered, then we need to consider this trend up here, because we know that it's slowing down. I mean, it moved quite quickly through here, and now it's really struggling. You can see the sellers sort of up there, so to speak. So yeah, the other point here is that with that gap in mind, we've got this overhead trend line through here, which is there. We've also got the 61.8 retracement level as well, which would be quite close to this point here as well. So, but we understood that the 1635 to the 1638.40, that we know it's resistance there. So we just need to be mindful of that. Of course, the main resistance is the medium level here, 1650, and that will be the balance line. But yeah, so let's just have a little bit of a look inside of this situation here. Is that well, first of all, that, just going back here a little bit, is that we've labelled this as a wave 4 here, but we're also mindful that this whole correction here in terms of time is still still small. It really needs to be a wave 4 of this intermediate degree needs to be twice as large as this. So that it's very easy that that this particular correction here can just be one leg. So what I mean by that is that, and wave 4s too can get quite complicated. You get your triangles and your double zigzags and so forth, but it's quite easy to put that A there, and we're actually looking at a B wave somewhere up here and a C wave down through to here before we see sort of further upside there. So we need to tread very lightly through this area through here. If we've got a retested solid support on 1650, hey, by all means, we'll shovel it in and go to the long side. But we are facing risk now. That's the main point here. We need to be taking on board here. With the S&P 500 here, the 1650 is the main level that we're working with here. It's been great to see that the 1600, finding quite a neat support at this point here. And the Elliott wave structure that helps us with this, we use the Elliott wave to help us get direction, and then we use the levels, the price, to trade from, and that's been working quite nicely through here. And you would know, if you know the levels a little bit, if the top of group 1 here, the 1, 2, and 3 here, if the top of group 1, which is always the 3, if that finds support, then we'll reach the 50 from that point there. And that's sort of what we're looking at there. We were looking from counting 5 little waves up through here, and if we drill into that a little bit here, we can, it's impulsing up through here. Now, I don't know if that's the top of the 3rd here, and this is the 4th, and this is the 5th going up through here. But what I do understand is that with a move up through here, it will obviously find supply up through here. It will eventually, it could pull back into this area through here, but, find some type of support on here is what we're sort of looking at to move higher through that area there. And that's the same with the Dow Jones as well. I'm just having a look at here on the 15-minute chart here, and what you can see here for the S&P 500 on this 15-minute chart here, we can see a nice impulse wave moving up through there. So we've got the wave 1 here, the wave 2 here, this is the 3rd wave here, little 4th and 5th. So we've really got up for 1 here and back for 2 already. So we've got like this 3rd price action moving up through here. So we can just move straight up. I guess what I'm trying to say is that the wave structure in the larger pattern and in the internal pattern through here is suggesting further upside being positive. We just know where the resistance is, and that's the 1650, and it would be nice to see, because the 1630 here, this is just the normal case. When it comes up and hits 30, it comes back and checks in at the 20 and then moves up from there. But it can get a bit complicated, but it's pretty simple from here, and simple in the terms that it was resistance, yeah, and it will be looking for support very shortly. So, we're on the sort of getting the other side right. So in terms of trading, we would trade to these numbers here. Then we would just wait for support, get the timing right, and then back in on that side there. So, and then that's the same for the Dow as well, if you follow that. Another way we can look at this is that while the market's in the bigger picture, while it's above the 14.8 here, it remains positive. But while it's above the 15,000 here, it remains positive as well. It's hasn't faced its trend line resistance up here, so the S&P 500 is leading in terms of pattern. There is another gap up through here somewhere. I have to go to another chart to find it, but it's there. So we've got the 15,200, which we talked about the other day, being a strong resistance, and because of the trend line, and also it's the pivot within the group 1 there. But it's the same story on the 5-minute chart here. You can see that this move back off the 15,000 here is really quite well, it's a positive. It's an impulse wave structure. So we've got the 1 and the 2 here, the 3 and the 4 across here, nice strong third wave here. When you get an extension in the third wave here, and we've got little wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there, nice little third wave there, then normally the wave 5 is equal to the wave 1 here. So we know that we've got a nice little impulse wave here. We've got a pullback and we're moving further up. So we should continue to move further up. So it's all a positive sign. But even this moving up here could just be wave 1. So we need to be mindful that, we can get, a move in here first before we see further upside there. But it's positive. That's the main thing that I'm trying to say. The European markets and the Australian markets are slightly different. But when we look at this one here, the FTSE, for instance, we were, it's just the 2-hour chart here, we had the target of the medium level, the 65 here, 6,500, which is like the S&P 500 at 16.50, or stock at $6.50 or 65 cents and so forth. Bit of an odd number, but works well. So we'd reached our target, and as you know, we were looking for counting our little 5 waves up through here. Okay, so we could actually have a top in place here as such. So just looking at the larger picture for the FTSE here, we were counting 5 waves down through here, third wave, fourth wave and fifth wave. And then, of course, we'd be looking for a 3-wave counter trend in, where are we? Well, 61.8 would be the first sort of thing we'd be looking for. Should have done that the other way, not that it may, oh no, there we go. The 50 and the 60 up here, which really is at the at the 65 level through here. So we were looking at this being an ABC coming up through here, or we're looking for a 3-wave structure as such, and that's what we've got here, because we were counting 5 waves up here, and then the ABC, then 5 waves up through here. So we do have a impulse wave here. We do have our ABC pattern in through here, so that would suggest that we would get another 5 waves to the downside coming from here as such in the 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, which would give us the, because if we get 5 waves here, then after a correction, then we'll get another 5 over here, which is a little bit opposite to our current count on the US market. So we need to be a little bit mindful of that. And also this too has a relationship with the Australian market as well. So we were looking for the Australian market to retest 5,000. It may not get there. That's sort of led by the banks. And if we do have a look at the banks just for a second here, let me have a look at CBA here as as an example. So what we were looking for with CBA here is we were looking for 5 waves down through here, which would be say 5 waves down like this, and most of the banks like this, and in fact probably clearer. And then we were looking for a three-wave counter trend coming back the 50 or 60%, and that's kind of what we got here. We got the A, the B, and the C here. It may not be finished. We can get one more little high in through here, or it can just roll over from that point. But point being is that it is at a juncture here that we just need to be careful, because we could certainly from here, from one more little high, we would be getting another five waves down like that. And we really need to be on the short side if that's the case. So uh, we need to change quite quickly. We had a good run trading down through here, we did really well, and we've tried to do our best to navigate through here. So we've had long trades in and short trades in here, depending on the market. So it's been a little bit tricky, but I think we've done reasonably well for that. So look, there could be an opportunity for us to short. We just need to see the US markets top out. It would be nice to for everything to sort of roll over as we go. So with the FTSE here, that we've got that little five waves here is, it could really be the top as such, because we've got, even once we hit the 65 here on the FTSE, we've got a nice little five waves to the downside. So we've got our first move to the downside being an impulse wave. So just see how this pans out. We understand that once we got the arrival at a particular level, then we have the reaction. So the reaction could be an A and a B and a C, or it could be down for one and back for two, three, four, five. So will we get a five wave structure down through here, or will we get a three wave structure? So the five wave structure would be something like this here. And if we get this five waves here, then we know that we're going to get another five waves after an ABC here. If we just get the 5, 3, 5 here, then we know that it moves straight up from here. Then we know that it's corrective. So we'll keep an eye on that with the US markets. The Australian markets, the ASX 200, the cash market, is trading at 48.41, I think, from memory, and on the close. So we've got the futures market here closing lower, and we've had the US markets up. So obviously there's some sort of pull going on to the downside with this. Obviously coming from the commodities, part of it. So we can see that it's a bit sluggish, but at the same time we can see that, and sluggish in the way that 4,800 here, it failed to gain support here. It's having another crack at it here. It spent most of the time here under the level, but it is now making an effort to get on top there as support. And our wave count that we've had is the A wave, then a little A, B, and C for the B wave. And then we're looking for the C wave up through here. Technically, all it needs to do is have five waves up here and make a new high above here, which is done. So it could be done and dusted at that point there. But let's just see how it goes a little bit. If we just drill into this a little bit through here, well, this is the same thing here, really. The A wave up here, the A, the B, and the C wave here. And this could be the other C wave here, a bit short, but I'm just sort of a little bit sort of hopeful. Let's just see how we go. We've got five waves up through here, and we've got a corrective move back through here. So let's just drill into it a little bit further through here. The same situation. So we've got our A wave down to here, our B wave in three waves here, then our C wave here, which didn't quite finish, so we have to take it to this little point here. But this here appears to be impulsive, a nice sort of fourth wave here. So we can label this here as wave 1 to here. And then we can label this as wave 2 coming back. Now we could label it here, and we could look at wave 3 going straight up from that point. But I think we also just need to bear in mind that the wave 2 may not be finished, and that would give us this particular structure here of an A wave down to here, a B wave to here, and a C wave to here, and then move up. That's one possibility. Just keep that in mind. It's probably not the case. So what we're looking for here, if you go long from this point here, then you need to keep the stop under here, of course. If it could come and collect it down through here, but the other situation is that if this pushes up through here and finds support, on top of the 48.30 here, the top of group 1, then you're pretty right to go from that point there, and you can go straight up from there if you get support on 48.30 on this point here. Alrighty, let's have a look at commodities. Okay, starting with gold, we are in wave 4 and we're looking for a reasonable simple ABC, and we've got our A wave up through to here. We're looking at our B wave pulling back. It normally pulls back 61.8% of the A wave here. It's pulled back a little bit further than that. We're expecting at the 12.13 sort of area through here, but it's pulled back down further, and it may not have finished either. So once this B wave is finished, we're looking for 5 waves up through here on this such here. So just drilling into that a little bit. We've got our A wave up here, our B waves in 3 waves, which would be the A, the B and the C wave down through here. It does count as 5 waves through there, but it still can also have, it does count that it can have one more move down through to here before we start seeing the C wave, and the C wave will be in 5 waves. And once that finishes there, then we'll see it move down from that point and start to make new lows there. So we just need to give it a little bit more time. It has pulled back a bit further than I thought it would have done, but there you go. So let's just see that sort of play out. So just what can we do here? So right, so if in terms of strategy, if it finds support on top of group 1, which is the 12.30, yep, 12.30 finds support, then trade along from that point. Otherwise, just wait, because this move up through here can be corrective. Where are we? Here, just labeling it through here. So I can see that it counts quite nicely. There's 5 waves into this wave 1 here, wave 2. There's 5 waves into 3, the 4, and there's 5 waves into 5 here. There is a little move down through here, so this can also be a wave 1 to here, wave 2 to here, all of this wave 3, this wave 4, and then wave 5 to pull down. Now, if that's the case, and this wave up here is a wave 4, then we could take it from the top here down to here and looking for the 38.2 retracement level, and that would bring us in at the 12.27 there. Okay, so if we do find support on the 12.30, the top of group 1, well then that's a nice place to trade along from at that point there, but it can fail at that point, so you need to allow it to go out. The other thing too is to see how the wave structure up here develops, because at the moment it's in 3 waves to the upside. The 1, the 2 here, that nice sideways pattern. This could be the third wave going up. So if it gets to 3 waves and then fails from here and then overlaps this first wave here, this little top here, then you know that that is an A and a B and a C, and we will be going one more down through here. But if it goes 1, 2, 3 where it is now, and then 4 and creates 5 here, 5 wave structure there, then it'll have an A, a B and a C wave here, and then you would look for support on top of that 30 there and move in from that point. The copper market has got the same sort of pattern as well, in terms of it moving down quite rapidly, but it's obviously this pattern's been going a little bit sort of longer. So this pattern up through here is corrective, right? And that's okay. We understood that, and we've got it, and that's fine. But you know, and it could just move down from here in terms of a bit of a structure like this, moving down. But otherwise, then if it's not that, I know that wave force can get a bit sort of complicated. If that's not the case, then we have to consider a larger correction unfolding through here. That won't be the 5 waves down. There'll just be this pattern 3 waves down here, and then this becomes the A wave here. Now, the good news is that I know that this is corrective, okay? So at some point, this market will make new lows down here much further, okay? What we don't know is that will this corrective pattern? Is this just the first leg, and we've got this as the A wave, the B wave here, and then the C wave here? That's the point that we don't understand. So we need to allow this to unfold further and make a move up through here. We just need it to finish off its development to see if we've got 1, 2, 3 waves down, or we're going to get 5 waves down. So in the bigger picture, we know where it is. Even the real short term, it's got further to come down. We just there's one degree of structure that we don't know about just yet. We just need time for that to unfold through there. So nothing we can really do about that. The oil market here, we're just still following this particular wave structure that we're moving to the upside. And as I mentioned, we're looking for a series of fourth and fifth waves. So we're pretty close to the top of the third wave now. Okay, so I can see that there's 1, 2, 3, there'll be 4 and 5 to finish this structure off through here. So that's, we can put that sort of up there a little bit further, maybe the 104, that's got to come over here, that's there. Maybe I've got that down here somewhere. Okay, that's a bit better. So it's still got this little fourth wave. Got to find the top of this one here, the fourth, and then the fifth of the fifth for the third there. So a little bit more there. Once that's in play there, then we'll be looking at this fourth wave here, which will be the retest of the 100. So still more to go, but all positive. You know, there's some stocks that are responding quite well to this. So BPT for one of them. Yeah, so that's that. Right, let's have a look at FX. Okay, intraday on the dollar, we are seeing this little, on the 30-minute chart here, this little pattern through here. It's corrective. It just needs to work through its corrective process, and it's doing that within group 2 here. So if you want to trade long here or go short on the euro, once the 84.72 becomes the retested support, you can short the euro and you can go long here, but you could only go long here until you get to the 85. The 85 is important because it's the midpoint, and 5 is the second strongest number in the market, and it's halfway between 90 and 80. So we would expect a reasonable correction across the 85 after the corrective process. If it finds support, then we can be looking at 90 from that point, and obviously shorting the euro from that point there. But yeah, the euro here, what we were doing here from last time is we were looking at counting 5 waves down through here. This little section here is sort of extended down a bit further, so we've got little impulse wave down to here. We've got the retest of the 129, which is obviously the selling point, and then the third wave down through here. So this is likely the fourth wave here, bouncing off 128, and there should be another little move down through here, which we could call this wave 3 coming down through here. The other situation here is that we can see that it's unfolding. It's kind of like just waterfalling down at the moment, isn't it? So it is, you know, the momentum is strong to the downside. So it is possible, instead of calling this the third wave here, it's possible to call this just wave 1 of the third wave, and then wave 2 coming back, and then wave 3. Now, in terms of the levels, the 130 is important because it's the top of group 1 and we're moving lower, and it's been, you know, we're waiting for it to become the retested resistance to set up the longer term short positions. And the next level, the 129 is important, but the 8 being the even number is more important. So it's highly likely that we're going to see some sort of ABC bounce here. Okay, so we're going to see some sort of some sort of situation like this before we see a downside here. So that's what we're sort of looking for. Of course, this this number here is also important as well. It's the 127.72. So just bear that in mind as well. So if you're trading intraday, then look for that. Or once this 128 and 127.72 establishes itself somewhat more, because it's only just arrived, once it's sort of dealt with, you know, the situation here of support and got our bounces and things, then you can use them as entry points once they become the retested resistance. But what we will be looking for here is the completion of this, then the ABC correction. It may not come this high. We'll have to just track it as we see it. Alrighty, the Australian dollar is in for a bumpy ride here, as you can see. Look, the main point here is the 90. We are looking for the bottom of wave 3 here, and we thought we might have it here because we've got this 5-wave structure through here. And we can still have this. This is corrective up through here, so this can also just be the ABC still, like the A wave to here, the B wave to here, and the C wave up here further as part of it. It has moved down quite sharply here. A B wave can do that. But either way, even if it does come down here further, we still have to expect a bounce back up through here. So that's the main point to look for. So it's just a matter of trading the retest and supports and resistances. So this move down through here. This is not the low here. This will be the low here because this is in 3 waves here, and then this one here is in 5 waves in terms of the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5 here. So this is all corrective through here. I would suggest if there was a clean break of the 90-50 here, then sell it at that point and keep the stop above the 72 at that point. Give it time to open, and if it opens stronger and moves up and can develop some type of support on top of that 72 there, then you can go long from that point there. But consider it. There's no impulse structure here for the upside just yet. Okay, so we're not seeing a little 5-wave structure here yet. Right, so we can't call it up. So we have to consider all of this still here, just corrective and to the downside. Yeah, so alrighty, well, that's it. And yeah, alrighty, well, enjoy the day ahead.